So today we are taking the tutorial 7, the probability and the calculus. Those are the things that we are covering in this chapter. We're going to define what we call the random variable. We're going to talk about the discrete and the continuous probability distribution. We're going to talk about the cumulative distribution of a function, the mean and the expected value, the variance and the standard deviation of the random variable, and application of the expected value, the variance and the standard deviation. Now what we are doing today is an application of the derivative and the integration, أكيد صح? The whole course we talked about how to find the derivative, how to find the integration. Now we are applying this on what we call the probability, الاحتمالات. If you are on the old plan, you will take the course M130. If you are on the old plan, you will go for the course M130 after you finish the M129. For course M130, it's all about the probability and the statistic. And you will know all of those things by details. Now for our course, we're gonna take just 16 slides, a quick review of what we call the random variable and an application of that. The M130 is a course, dear. Probability and statistic, إحصاء واحتمالات. This is for all the plan student, the student on the plan 2012. We have a 2012 students with us. So the 2012 students, they will take the M130 after they finish the course M129. For M130, they will take all of those things on details. الحين new students اللي هم على خطة 2018, no, you are not taking the course M130, you are just taking the course MT129, and we are covering this part of the probability in it. So let's start first of all defining what we call the random variable. Now the random variable is defined whenever we talk about experiment. I have random experiment, what we call a random experiment, which means it is at something I'm doing. I know all the outcomes, but I'm not sure what exactly the outcome that will come to me. A simple example of this is whenever we are having a coin. You know the coin, صح؟ عارفين ايش يعني الكوين؟ العملة المعدنية. The coin has a head or a tail. احنا نسميها صورة أو كتابة. بالإنجليش they are calling it head and the tail of the coin. So whenever I'm flipping a coin, what are the outcomes? أنا يا يطلع لي head يا راح يطلع لي tail، صح؟ فنسميها random experiment. I know the outcomes, but I'm not sure which outcome will come to me. If a family is having a child, they are pretty much sure it's gonna be a boy or a girl. So their sample space, we say the sample space, the outcomes is boy, girl, and it could be boy or it could be girl. So an example is the coin that we are talking about here. This is an example of a random experiment. Now, the random variable is a function actually associate a real number with each element that we have in this sample space. Now, الحين the word sample space معناها the outcomes that we have. The set of outcomes. So in my experiment, when I'm flipping the coin one time, I have head or tail. So my sample space in this case is having head or tail. Now, in case like this example here, I'm flipping the coin how many times? I'm flipping the coin 3 times, not just 1 time. So the first time it could be head or tail. When I'm flipping it again, يعني لو أول مرة طلع عندي head, the second time again it could be head or tail. صح ولا لا? If the first time I got a tail, and I flip the coin again, it could be again head or tail. الحين I'm doing this a third time. طيب لو the first time it was a head, the second time it was a head, the third time again it have 2 options. It's either head or tail. If it was head بعدين صار tail, again the third time it could be head or tail. A good way to imagine this is by doing a tree. We say it a tree representation of the experiment. Now, if it was the first time tail, the second time head, now the third time again it could be head, tail, If it was tail, tail, a third time مرة ثانية, it could be head or tail. So all the outcomes, I can know all the outcomes. I can organize all the outcomes that I have by following the branches of the tree. أتتبع البرانشز حقت التري. ممكن إن أول مرة head, then head, and then head. So I say I will get head, head, and then head. And the three flipping of the coin. Head, head, and then head. Or it could be, what will be the second option? Head أول مرة. I'm following. It is head, بعدين head, بعدين tail. Excellent. It's head, بعدين head, بعدين tail. بعدين it could be head, tail, head. It could be head, tail, tail. صح كده؟ And I'm done with the first part of the tree. بعدين نروح للي يكون T في البداية. It could be T, H, H, T, H and T. نمشي بالترتيب. T, T, H, T, T, and T. You got it? How many outcomes I have? I have 8 outcomes, and the 8 outcomes. Excellent. We have 8 outcomes here. You got that? Now, what's the random variable? It's a number that associates with each outcome I have in my sample space. هذا sample space عندي. Now, they are telling me in the question, the x is the random variable that is equal to the number of heads that I will see in the outcome that I have. فهنا, how many head I have in the head, head, head? How many head I have? 3. So I say in the x is 3 هنا. The second one, how many heads do I have? I have 2. So I say in the x is equal to 2. Now the third one, how many heads? Again, 2. Hina, the fourth one, how many heads I have? Now I have a 1 head. Here, how many heads I have? I have 2. So x is equal to 2. For this one, x is equal to 1. For this one, x is equal to 1. Now what about the last one? When I have a tail, 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 how many heads I have in here? None. So I have a 0. So we say in the random variable that associate with this experiment وقال لي إن my focusing على الhead يعني it could be a question لما يكون الfocusing على الtail لكن هنا إن I'm focusing on how many heads I have. They told me in the question equal to the number of the heads. How many heads في الtail tail tail يا سدم I think سدم. How many heads I عندي في الtail tail tail؟ ما في ولا head. ولا head موجود عندي صح ولا لا؟ So x is equal to 0 لأن الx معناها عدد الهيدز الموجود عندي. So it's a 3, 2, 2, 1, 2, 1, 1, and 0. So this is the random variable. رقم associate for each outcome I have in an experiment. Now this type, this example is giving me an example of what we call discrete random variable. I mean random variable. ايش يعني discrete؟ يعني متقطع. ايش يعني متقطع؟ يعني countable. As you can see, it is 0, 1, 2, and 3. As you can see, my x actually take the values هنا إما 0 or 1 or 2 or maximum it's going to be 3. So the x is countable. We say in the x is discrete in this case. Now, the other example, the second example that you can see down here, we have x is the random variable defined to be the waiting time in hours between successive speeders spotted by a radar unit. عارفين ساهر صح ولا لا؟ عارفين ساهر؟ اللي هو speeders spotted thing يسمونه الرادار unit. The random variable x is how many time between a speeder and a speeder. على ما أن ساهر تصيد speeder وبعدين تصيد speeder ثاني The waiting time is what I'm talking about. Yeah. So my X هنا عبارة عن time. والtime هذا عبارة عن hours. Now when I'm talking about time hours, I'm talking about maybe 1 minute, maybe 2 minutes, maybe 3 minutes, maybe 1 hour and 2 minutes and 3 seconds صح؟ ممكن تكون مثلا 2 hours and 15 minutes and so on. Countable, something we can count. نقدر نحسبها هذا، نقدر نسوي له counting على يدنا. Never. صح ولا لا؟ We cannot count it. So in this case, we are calling this continuous random variable. We call it continuous random variable. شيء ما ينعد. With discrete, something that we can count. It's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. This is the discrete. ممكن finite وممكن infinite, but it's countable after all. والcontinuous, it is a line segment. It is like R. عندي أرقام غير منتهية. And usually, continuous, it's time, it is weight, it is height, the centimeter, for example, the meter. So those are the two types that we have of the random variable. عندنا discrete sample space ويجي معاها discrete random variable. وعندنا continuous sample space which is associated to a line segment. Okay, continuous, infinite number of possibilities equal to the number of points in the line segment. It is something that is associated to R. So this is how we defined now the probability function or the probability distribution function. The probability distribution function defined in two different ways. One way for the continuous random variable and one way for the discrete random variable. Here I'm defining this for the discrete. And here this is for the continuous random variable. In case it is discrete, يعني countable thing, we talk about sum, المجموع. هذه علامة sum, totaling over the x's that we have. In case we are talking about the continuous, I cannot add, I cannot sum لأن they are uncountable. So we talk about the integration. And this is why we have this in our course. عشان الانتجريشن شايفين؟ If it is continuous random variable, the probability distribution function gonna be described by what we call the probability density function and operation to be done using the integration. If it is a discrete probability distribution, then we describe this by what we call the probability mass function, and we are using the sum. We say that the function is a probability distribution function or a probability mass function for x, which is a discrete random variable, as you can see here. If what happened, first we have that f of x is greater than or equal to 0. بمعنى it's positive for all the f of x's. 2. The sum over all the x's is equal to 1. مجموع كل ال f of x's that we have is equal to exactly 1. In 3, the probability of x equal to x is equal to this f of x. The probability distribution is equal to this f of x in that case. You will understand this when we do an example. Just wait. If it is continuous, if the x is continuous random variable, in this case, again, we have 3 conditions to say this is a probability density function. First of all, in the f of x is positive. Second, in the integration min minus infinity to infinity, the f of x is equal to 1. And third, the probability لما x is between a and b is equal to the integration from a to b f of x dx, اللي هو definite integration. Now, to understand this, they are giving us this example. In the case of tossing a coin 3 times, we talk about this. أنا عندي coin and I'm tossing it 3 times. Remember, what are the outcomes? It is head, 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 tail, head, tail, head, head, tail, tail, tail head head tail head tail 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 head and tail tail tail. صح ولا لا؟ How many outcomes I have here? How many outcomes we have? 8 of them. Okay. What's your random variable? It's given. The x is representing the number of heads. فالx is the number of heads وأنا قاعدة أسوي tossing 3 times. So الx ممكن 0 head يطلع عندي، ممكن 1 head، ممكن 2 head، وماكسيمم ممكن 3 head لأن أنا قاعد أرميه 3 مرات صح؟ It could be 0, 1, 2 or 3. So we construct a table أحط فيها قيم الإكس. قيم الإكس يا 0 يا 1 يا 2 يا 3. في قيمة ثانية للإكس؟ No. That's it. الإكس اللي هي number of heads يا بيكون 0 head يا 1 يا 2 يا 3. الحين to know the probability of x equal to x اللي هي ال f of x اللي هي قيمة الفانكشن at the x. How many times we got a 0? Have a look هنا. كم مرة ظهرت عندي الزيرو؟ كم مرة ظهرت عندي الزيرو؟ مرة. فالزيرو ظهرت مرة من how many مرة؟ من 8 مرات صح؟ So the probability is 1 out of 8. مش هي ظهرت مرة من 8 مرات؟ I'm talking about the probability هنا. The probability is like this. How many times it happened على ال overall thing. So it's 1 of 8. الحين if I have the x is equal to 1, how many times the 1 happened هنا? How many times I got 1 head? 3. Out of what? Out of 8. So it's a 3 over 8. Yeah? And how many times we got the 2? Check the table. 1, 2, 3 times the 2 happened out of 8. وال 3, how many times the 3 happened? الثلاثة ظهرت كم مرة؟ مرة من 8. Now جربوا اجمعوا لي البروبابيلتيز كلها 1 8 with 3 8 with 3 8 with 1 8. What's the total? 1 and 3 4. So it's 8 8. This equal to what? 1. فهذا لما كان يقول لي إن لما sum of all f of x's لازم equal to 1. معناها when you do the table the sum of all the probabilities لازم واحد. هذا لأنها probability. البروبابيلتي معناها احتمال. فاحتمال الشيء يصير دائما probability of anything to happen. Okay. It should be a number between 0 and 1. 0 معناها impossible to happen. 1 معناها أكيد it's gonna happen. بعدين the numbers in between تعطيني احتمال إن الشيء يصير. الحين when I'm talking about the coin مثلا أنا when I'm tossing a coin one time إيش probability إنه يطلع عندي head؟ نص. نص نص صح ولا لا؟ الهيد احتمال نص والتيل إيش احتمالها؟ half again. half plus half is equal to 1. لازم مجموع الاحتمالات كلها is equal to 1. Yeah? So if you go back to the definition, in the sum of all f of x's should equal to 1. Each one of f x's should be positive. And then the probability of x equal to x is f of x. And this is what we did when we calculated the 1 8, the 3 8, and the 3 8, and the 1 8. Okay. So this is a probability distribution function. And in case they give you the table, لو أعطاني التable وقال لي is it a probability distribution function? I check two things. أول شيء each one of f of x is positive ولا لا? Yeah. 2. مجموع كل ال f of x's is equal to 1 ولا لا? Yeah. So yes, this is probability distribution function. You got it? فعشان أشيك إن الفانكشن is a probability distribution function لازم each one of f of x is positive. The sum of all f of x is equal to 1. الحين the second example here, they are giving me a continuous function. الحين لما تكون continuous function, they are gonna give it to me. راح يعطيني الفانكشن. I don't have to guess it. حتى في الديسكريت for the M129, if they are giving you this, إن شاء الله it's gonna be with its value. راح يكون with its table. So in here, this is a continuous function. Suppose, and it is explaining the error in the reaction temperature in degrees C. I'm talking about temperature, درجة حرارة. So this is continuous for a controlled laboratory experiment. And this is a continuous random variable. Okay? And have the probability density function. إيش تخربط أسامة؟ المعلومات تخربطت ولا سلايدات تخربطت؟ What's happening? Yeah. Listen to me. What happened here? إن we defined إن عندنا random variable. ماشي؟ أنا عندي random variable x. الرandom variable x تطلع منه function اللي هي f small of x. What is this f of small of x? It's nothing but the probability إن الx راح تساوي الx هذه. فإن this example أنا لما كان عندي random variable is the number of heads. فالنمبر of heads يا 0 يا 1 يا 2 أو 3 maximum it's 3 صح؟ قدامها ال f of x اللي هي احتمال إن ال x تكون 0. احتمال x 0 أنا شفت إن ال 0 ظهرت مرة واحدة out of 8. So it's 1 8. f of x لما x 1 يعني احتمال إن ال x تكون 1 اللي هي إنه يكون عندي 1 head. كم مرة كان عندي 1 head؟ 3 مرات من ال8 مرات. Those are the outcomes. It's head, head, head. It's head, head, tail. It's head, tail, head. It's head, tail, tail. بعدين عندي tail. Head, head. Tail. Head, tail. Tail, tail, head. And tail, tail, tail. وقدامها حطيت ال X اللي هي the number of heads. فهنا عندي 3. رماها 3 مرات يا أسامة. رماها 3 مرات. واضح head head to head يعني 3 مرات طلع عندي head. الoutcomes 8. الاحتمالات اللي راح تصير لما يرميها 3 مرات 8 outcomes. إما يطلع له 3 head إما 2 head 1 tail. رقم 8 الoutcomes. احسب how many outcomes you have. How many outcomes عندك؟ 8. كيف عرفناها؟ هذه لأن إحنا أول مرة عندنا احتمالين، ثاني مرة 2، ثالث مرة 2. It is 2 في 2 8. عندي 8 outcomes. هذه يعني this is a huge thing. في الكورس M130 ياخذونها with all the details. في الكورس M131 as well فيها جزئية الcounting والprobability. Okay. For the course M129, we don't want you to go deep in these details. I just want you to know this simple example. إن أنا عندي 8 outcomes. When I say 3, it is out of 8. 1 out of 8. Okay. Back to here. How many head عندي? 2. How many head? I have 2. How many head? I have 1, 2, 1, 1, and 0. I'm going to show you how questions come in the exam. Just have some patience. Okay? خلوكم صبورين شوي. You can know the outcomes by knowing what's the experiment, by imagining what's happening in the experiment. أنا تخيلت بما إن they are flipping the coin 3 times معناها راح يكون عندي أول مرة head or tail، ثاني مرة هنا راح يكون عندي head or tail and so on. By imagining what's happening in the experiment, I know all the outcomes. Okay? again هنا عندي 3 8 again هنا عندي it was like 1 8. yeah, the total, the sum of all the outcomes is equal to 1. Each one of them is positive. Just have some patience. I'm gonna show you examples and previous year's exams as well. طيب, we agreed in we have the x اللي هو random variable. For this x, I define f of x, f small x, and for this f small x, I'm gonna define f capital of x. What is this f capital of x? It is defined to be the probability for all the x's that less than or equal to this x that I have. It is a sum if I'm talking about discrete random variable, and if I'm talking about continuous, it is the integration from minus infinity to x of f of t. This is f capital. And again, you will know what does this mean by doing an example, inshallah. Important thing, and then we have the probability for the x between a and b is the integration of f of x from a to b. And the probability of x less than or equal to b is the integration from minus infinity لحد ال b. And greater than or equal to b is 1 minus probability of x less than or equal to b, which is 1 minus the integration from minus infinity to b of f of x dx. Okay, this is for the continuous case. You have to be aware of those relations. Now, let's check examples to understand the thing here. Suppose that the error in a reaction of the temperature degree C in a controlled laboratory experiment is continuous random variable, and it is having this probability density function. They give me that this is a probability density function, يعني محقق الشروط already. The question is in A, verify that this is a density function. What did we say? عشان تكون density function, it should have two conditions. First of all, لازم من ال f of x تكون greater than or equal to 0. Number two, I'm talking about continuous, فلازم الانتجريشن من minus infinity to infinity لل f of x dx is equal to what? لازم الانتجريشن تساوي كم؟ 1. صح ولا لا؟ مش هذا الشرطين عشان تكون distribution function. If it is continuous, we do integration. If it is discrete, we do a sum. So the integration from minus infinity to infinity للfunction لازم equal to 1. طبعا الحين I know how to do the integration. And when I have a look at the function is defined to be x squared على 3 when the x is between minus 1 and 2 and 0 otherwise. فالfunction ما هي معرفة من minus infinity to infinity actually. The function is defined just from minus 1 لحد 2. ولا otherwise it's 0. Integration of 0 is 0. So we find the integration from minus 1 to 2 للfunction, which is x squared over 3 dx. And I want to prove إن هذا equal to 1. هذا لازم equal to 1. الحين we know how to find the integration. What's the integration of x3 على x squared على 3? I mean, this will be x3 على 3 في 3, 9. And the integration is from minus 1 لل 2. صح كده؟ Now, substitute with 2. This will be 8 على 9. Minus the substitution with minus 1. This will be minus 1 over 9. Actually, this is 8 plus 1, which is 9 على 9, equal to 1 ولا لا? This equal to 1, which prove that the function is a density function. طبعا the function is positive also. هذا number 2. Number 1, the function is positive all the time. It's greater than or equal to 0 all the time. لأن it is x squared, and x squared all the time. Again, let me write it in a new slide. again we are having a function defined as following: f of x is equal to x squared over 3 when the x is between the no, not equal هنا without the equal, it's between the -1 and the 2, and here is otherwise يعني بباقي الأحوال. So to prove in her density function لازم I prove two things. First of all, إن ال f of x is greater than or equal to 0, and this is true. لأن ال function is x square. الحين when I'm squaring anything, it will be positive. So this is true. In number 2, to prove in her density, I have to prove in the integration من minus infinity للinfinity للfunction f of x dx is equal to 1. لازم اثبت ان this equal to 1, so I have to work it out. The integration is not from minus infinity to infinity لأن الفانكشن معرفة من minus 1 ل 2, 0 otherwise. باقي الحالات it's all 0. So the integration is limited or bounded to be from -1 to 2, and the function is x squared over 3 dx. طبعا لازم تعرفون how to do the integration. How we integrate x squared? Remember. In general لما يكون عندي x to the power n الانتجريشن x to the power n plus 1 على n plus 1 صح ولا لا؟ نضيف واحد ونقسم على الرقم اللي يطلع عندنا. So if I add 1 على 2 it will be x3. بقسم على 3 I already have a 3 so it will be 9. And this is from -1 to 2. How we find such integration? طبعا في الفاينل لازم يكون سؤال كامل from this chapter by the way. لازم يكون عندكم one full question على الشابتر هذا. So you have to know how to. It's easy by the way. It's easy. It's just applying the integration. Now if we substitute with 2, this will be 2 to the power 3 على 9. Minus the substitution with -1 اللي هي -1 to the power 3 over 9. نعوض بالاثنين ونعوض بالminus 1. This is 9, not 9, this is 8 over 9 minus, it will be plus 1 over 9. This equal to 9 على 9 equal to 1, and this what I wanted to prove, which prove in that this is a density function. Yes, this is a density function. You got that? So that was the first part of the question. They ask you to prove in that this is a density function. Any question? Okay. So let's see what is the second part of the question. They want me to find the probability لما ال x بين ال 0 وال 1. الحين when I go back to this slide هنا ايش probability لما ال x بين ال a وال b؟ ايش probability لما from a to b? It's nothing but the integration للfunction من a to b. So when they say هنا they want the probability between 0 and 1 معناها يبغى الانتجريشن من 0 to 1. For what function? The same function اللي هي x squared over 3 dx. Now I know what's the integration of this one. This is x3 over 9, and the integration now from 0 to 1. Substitute with 1, it's 1, 9. Substitute with 0, this is 0, 9. So the answer is 1, 9. And this answer the question. ايش له probability لما ال x between 0 and 1? It's 1, 9. Okay? Also, they want you to find capital F of x now. Again, we go back to the slide. ايش الكابيتال F of x? Capital F of x is nothing but الانتجريشن من minus infinity إلى ال x F of t dt. So let's find capital F of X now. This is my small f of X. It's given by x squared over 3 for the x's between the -1 and 2, and it's 0 otherwise. To find f capital of x ايش القانون؟ It's the integration from -infinity to x. وأجي عند الفانكشن we change the x with t square over 3 dt. هذا القانون. هذا الرول. If I want f capital, it's the integration from -infinity لحد ال x of the t square over 3 لأن الفانكشن is x square over 3. I change it to t. الحين the integration shouldn't go from -infinity لأن the function is starting from -1 ولا الفانكشن تبدأ من -1 إلى 2 والباقي كله 0. So I don't have to come from the -infinity. We just integrate from -1 لحد ال x and the function is t square over 3 dt. الحين قانون الانتجريشن when we have a power we add 1 على الباور, so it will be t to a power 3 ونقسم على نفس الرقم 3 and I already have a 3 so it's over 9 and the integration is from -1 to x. Substitute with x, this is x3 over 9. Substitute with -1, it's -1, so this will be +1 over 9. So overall, I can say this is x3 plus 1 over 9. Okay, and this is how we write f of x. We say it is x3 plus 1 over 9 for the x's between the -1 and the 2. And it is 1 for x greater than or equal to 2. And it is 0 for x less than or equal to -1. Does this make sense? الفانكشن معرفة ما بين ال -1 وال 2 and this is the f capital. لما بكبر عن 2 it's 1. لما بقل عن ال -1 it is 0. And this is how we define the f capital of x. Okay. So this is the rule. This is the rule. If I want f capital rule, it's the integration من -infinity للt للf of t dt. وبجيب الانتجريشن. الحين ليش أنا لما جيت أكتب الحل قسمته إلى 3 أقسام؟ لأن actually الفانكشن defined from -1 لل 2. Okay? Less than -1 الفانكشن ما فيها شيء. It's all zeros. greater than 2 معناها كأني باخذ integration كامل. كأني باخذ integration from -infinity to infinity and I know this equal to 1. فأكبر من 2 the f capital is 1. Less than -1 the f capital is 0. Between the -1 and 2 where the function is defined is where I have my f capital of x. Let's do one more example. Now, this is something you can see a lot in the final exam. They can give you such a thing in the multiple choice questions. They are giving you the function, and as you can see, the function is f of x. It's equal to ax, and you don't know what's a. So the question will be, find me this a. And the function defined from 0 to 1, and it is 0 otherwise. Okay? What is the thing? What is the thing here? Find me the constant a that make this function into a density function. I know in the function is a density function لما يكون the integration from -infinity to infinity of the function f of x is equal to what? لازم كامل الانتجريشن from minus infinity to infinity it should equal to 1. لازم. if I want this to equal to 1 معناها the integration من 0 إلى 1 AX dx this equal to 1 صح ولا لا؟ الفانكشن أساسا defined من 0 to 1 otherwise it is 0. فبدل من minus infinity to infinity it's just from 0 to 1 and it's of ax dx. Now what's the integration of a في x? This is ax. Let me write it clearly. What is? Come on. Yeah. What is the integration of ax? Yeah, correct. It's a x squared over 2. And the integration is between 0 and 1. And this should equal to 1. الحين we substitute with 1 minus the substitution with a 0. If we substitute x squared 1, it will be a على 2 minus the substitution of 0, which is 0 على 2. This equal to 1. This implies إن a على 2 equal to 1. This implies إن a is equal to 2. And this is what we wanted. a is equal to 2 هنا. You got it? جبت الانتجريشن, I made it equal to 1, I solved, and I got the value of a. The a here is equal to 2. الحين we come to the function and we change the f to be a مكانها. I'm gonna put 2 for the x's between 0 and 1 and 0 otherwise, and now this is the full function that we have. In the second part of the question, they want you to find the probability من الhalf لل1. We know in the probability من الhalf to 1, it's nothing but the integration من الhalf to 1 للfunction which is 2x. And the integration of 2x is x squared على 2, the 2 cancel the 2, this is x squared from half to 1. This is 1 minus half square اللي هي quarter, and this is 0.75, and this will give me the probability for the x between half and the 1. Okay? ها واضحة؟ طبعا you should be careful. Let me summarize this. Whenever I'm having a continuous function, they will give me f of x, the f small of x. If I want to prove إنها density, I find the integration from minus infinity to infinity, f of x dx equal 1. I'm recording the class, don't worry. You can check the record. So if I want to prove in the function is a density function, I find the integration from minus infinity to infinity. I prove this equal to 1. In double I, if I want to find f capital of x, I find it by in f capital of x equal to the integration من minus infinity إلى x, and the function is f of t dt. In 3i, if they are asking me to find a probability لما ال x is between a and b, سواء في equal ولا ما في equal, we don't care, it's the same thing لأن it's integration. This will be the integration from a to b لل f of x dx. If they want the probability of x less than a, this will be the integration from minus infinity to a f of x dx. If they want the probability of x greater than a, this is 1 minus the probability of x less than a, which is 1 minus infinity to a f of x dx. So those are the rules that we have till now. إذا بثبت إنها density, I'm gonna let the integration equal to 1. If I want to find f capital, I'm gonna find the integration من minus infinity للx. If I want to find the probability, either between a and b, I'm gonna make integration from a to b. If less than a, so it is from minus infinity to a. If greater than a, it's 1 minus the integration from minus infinity to a. You got it? فهذا الرول اللي عندنا إياها للحين. This is for the continuous. طبعا we care a lot about the continuous لأن it's the application thing of the integration. تطبيق الانتجريشن هنا عندنا على الكونتينيوس. So الفوكس على الكونتينيوس. طبعا whenever we have integration أكيد it's continuous. And we have this example here. They are giving me the function continuous. واضح إنها continuous. f of x is e to the power minus x when x is greater than or equal to 0. So actually, the function defined من 0 to infinity, right? My function is in this part. It's for x greater than or equal to 0. It's from here and up. So first of all, show me that this is a density function. To show its density function, أول شيء إن ال f of x should be positive, and this is true لأن ال exponential is always positive. And two, to show its density function, I have to show إن the integration from minus infinity to infinity لل f of x is equal to 1. In this case, الفانكشن مش من الماينس انفينيتي، الفانكشن من وين لوين؟ Let me finish this and I will go back. الحين my function مش من الماينس انفينيتي، اتفقنا الفانكشن من وين لوين؟ من الزيرو إلى الانفينيتي. So my function actually is from 0 to infinity, and it is the function is exponential of minus x dx, the integration. I want to prove that this equal to 1. الحين what's the integration of the exponential minus 2x? You have to know all these rules. لازم تنحفظ تماما. The integration of e to the power kx is equal to e to the power kx لكن we divided by k. Remember that? So the integration of e to the power minus x is actually e to the power minus x على minus 1, which is minus e to the power minus x. Yeah, excellent. And the integration is from 0 للinfinity. الحين مرة we substitute with the infinity, مرة we substitute with a 0. This will be minus e to the power minus infinity minus e to the power 0. مرة عوضت بالinfinity ومرة عوضت بال0 with a minus in between them. الحين e to the power minus infinity is a 0. And e to the power 0 is 1 with minus minus. This will be plus 1, and the result is equal to 1. Okay? Huh? You get it? Result is equal to 1 here. And this is what we wanted to prove. Osama, we simply find the integration. عشان أثبت إن integration is equal to 1. How the first معروف, it's a well-known thing إن exponential to the power minus infinity go to 0. Exponential, if you check the exponential graph, you will see إن لما تروح للماينس infinity تقرب من الزيرو. Okay? Just 1 second. You want me to go back to that slide? القانون الثالث اللي هو لما يطلب من عندي probability x between a and b. It's integration from a to b. when they want the probability x less than a. يعني زي إن الإكزامبل لما يقول لي مثلا I want the probability for x between 2 and 5. إيش يعني؟ يعني the integration من 2 to 5. When they say they want the probability of x less than مثلا 5 معناها they want the integration من minus infinity to 5. إيش يعني less than 5؟ يعني أقل من ال 5. Okay? And if they say, for example, they want the probability of x greater than 5 يعني معناها من 5 to infinity, and usually and we are using this إنها it's 1 minus probability of x less than 5. Less than or equal, or without the equal, it is not making any difference having equal ولا لا. هنا بدون equal أنا حطتها, but if we have equal, it's actually the same. Okay? I'm not writing it, but in case you have equal somewhere هنا, it's not making any effect لأن I'm talking about integration. For the integration, the equal sign is not making any change here. Let's do more examples. So in here, done with this, we prove the A of the question in the function is density function. So to prove it's a density function, we have to find the integration overall, and we prove it's equal to 1. الحين they want me to find probability لما ال x between 2 and 3. إيش معناها؟ معناها the integration من 2 to 3 of the function اللي هي e to the power minus x dx. طيب هنا they want it less than or equal to 4. What is it؟ إذا أقل من ال 4 معناها from minus infinity to 4 of the function e to the power minus x dx. Yeah. لكن my function actually defined من الزيرو. My function مو جاية من minus infinity. My function بادية من الزيرو صح؟ So it will be the integration from 0 to 4 e to the power minus x dx. And this d is greater than 4. إيش اتفقنا لما greater than 4؟ It's 1 minus ال x less than or equal to 4. Yeah. فال less than or equal to 4 we will find it هنا. The answer I'm gonna use it هنا. لازم ننتبه للدومين. We must be very careful with the domain. الفانكشن من وين لوين معرفة هنا؟ من 0 and to infinity. فلما أقول from minus infinity معناها I'm starting from 0 هنا. Okay. طبعا we do the integration. Integration of e to the power minus x is minus e to the power minus x, and the integration from 2 to 3. Substitute with the 3, it's e to the power minus 3. Substitute with the 2, e to the power minus 2. Do the calculation. طبعا الآلة الحاسبة تحسب لكم الكلام هذا. This equal to 0.018. This is the probability from 2 to 3. For less than or equal to 4 اتفقنا إنها from minus infinity to 4. لكن هنا أنا ببدأ من 0 to 4. And I integrate 0 to 4, substitute with 4, substitute with 0, find the value. The answer is 1 minus e to the power minus 4. طبعا هنا they calculated the minus 3 وال minus 2, e to the power minus 3, e to the power minus 2. أعطاك الرقم as a decimal. هنا they just leave it. It's up to you in the exam if you want to calculate it or if you want to leave it with the e. They are trying to tell you and it's fine if you leave it like this. لو خليتوا لي إياها like 1 minus e to the power minus 4, this is still fine unless it is multiple choice. طبعا لو multiple choice you need to find the exact solution that you have. بعدين probability greater than 4 is 1 minus the probability less than or equal to 4 that we find in part C اللي هي 1 minus e to the power minus 4. So 1 minus this amount, this will give me e to the power minus 4. Okay, and again, you can calculate it. You can just write it as a decimal if you want to. So any question here? We have more example. Go ahead, Osama, yeah. Yeah.
دكتورة معلش عشان أنا بطيء في الكتابة. السؤال باختصار، دحين في الاختبار النهائي تمام، مو احتمال يجيني في سؤال عن التكامل ولا شيء أحل فيه، فهل مثلا اللهم صل على محمد أقدر ما أكتب لك الناتج وأكتب مثلا اللهم صل على محمد الناتج حق معادلة التكامل، ولا لا لازم الناتج لو كان مقرب أو غير
لا
مقرب
أيوه
علي؟
يعني you have to write me an answer.
ايوه بكتب الناتج، بس مثلا خلينا نقول ما قربته لاقرب جزء من 10 او من 100 انحسب لي؟
ايه it's fine طبعا.
لانه صراحه في التقريب انا جدا سيء والله بكل امانه.
you don't have to. خلاص just write me the answer.
الله يعطيك العافيه، جدا شكرا.
تالا it is not negative. طبعا إذا طلع negative معناها the answer is wrong. This is not negative by the way. This is not negative. E to the power minus 4 is not negative. So 1 minus e to the power minus 4 not negative. If you subtract 1 minus this, again, it's not negative. The answer is positive. Try it. Okay. We have one more example. Again, something similar to what you can have as a multiple choice questions. In here, we are talking about a function which is f of x, a في 1 plus x square, will x between what and what? 0 and 2. So the function معرفة بس from 0 and 2. يقول لك what's the value of a that will make this a density function. أنا أعرف إن this is a density function if the integration from minus infinity to infinity للfunction f of x is equal to 1. So in this case it will be the integration من 0 إلى 2 للfunction اللي هي ال a plus ax square. صح كده؟ صح لو كتبتها a plus ax square it's the same. I expand it. It's ax square and the integration from 0 to 2. Now, what's the integration of a? This should equal to 1 طبعا. What's the integration of a? A constant and the integration is with respect to x. What's the integration of a? Huh? No, the integration here. Ax. Not derivative. It's integration. It's ax. And what's the integration of ax square? It is a, well, x square will be x3 على 3, and the integration is from 0 to 2. You can take a as a common here, and I substitute with the 2. This will be 2 plus 8 على 3 minus this will be 0 plus 0 if I substitute with a 0. So this will be a, and this one is 6 over 3. So this is 14 over 3. And this is equal to 1. So from here, I get in a is equal then 3 على 14. We do cross multiplication. If we switch here, this will give you in a is equal to 3 over 14. Okay? So we found the integration. We let the integration equal to 1. We solve it. We get the value of a. So the value of a that makes this into a density function is 3 over 14. Okay? Now, we should close this لأن we are going to talk about the expected value and the variance now. So anything, any question here? Any more clarification is needed?
دكتورة بس الله يعطيك العافية، لا تنسي تورينا بعدين أسئلة وأمثلة عليها منه.
I will show you. I will show you إن شاء الله. Now, the expected value of the mean is defined to be for the discrete, the sum. Whenever you see a sum معناها discrete. It's equal to x في ال f of x. And we call it the expected value of x أو the mu. نسميها mu. الحين مش إحنا عندنا ال x is my random variable. وقدامها راح يكون f of x اللي هي probability when x equal to x. Multiply x في في ال f of x, add everything, this will give you what you call the mean or the expected value. المين معناها المتوسط. Okay, so example, here we have in this table, they are asking you to find the expected value والoutcomes بالشكل هذا. 1 قدامها 49, 2 قدامها 49, وال 3 قدامها 19. So if I'm talking about the expected value, it will be the sum في ال x f of x. فأضرب ال 1 في ال 49, ال 2 بال 49, 3 بال 19, and we add them all, the answer will be the expected value أو المتوسط أو average أو mean, and we refer to it with the sample mu. Okay, so this is what we call the expected value. If it was discrete, it's given by a sum. If it was continuous, راح ناخذه بالintegration. It's the integration of x multiplied with the function f of x, and we call it expected value of x أو المين the mu. Okay, فكلمة mean وكلمة expected value, all of them means the same. معناها I'm multiplying x في ال f of x and I'm totaling. التوتالينج يكون إما بسم لما يكون discrete أو بintegration when it is a continuous random variable. We refer to it with e of x. Now we have the variance or the standard deviation. We refer to it with the sample sigma. It is sigma. هذه نسميها sigma square. الفاريانس السيجما square والstandard deviation السيجما لحالها. Okay. فعندنا السيجما square is what we call the variance. وعندنا السيجما itself is what we call the standard deviation. So the sigma square, whenever it is continuous, is given by the integration from minus infinity to infinity of x minus the mu. What's the mu? The same expected value we found in the previous slide. X minus the mu, اللي هي المين, square, multiply with f of x, dx. And if it is discrete, the variance sigma square is given by the expected value of x minus mu square, which is the sum of x minus mu square في ال f of x. بدل ما كنت أضرب ال x في ال f of x عشان أجيب ال variance, I multiply x minus mu square and I multiply it with f of x. ولازم يكون عندي الميو. لازم أكون جايبة الميو اللي في ال previous slide. Square في ال f of x, sum everything, this will give you the variance. طبعا ال variance, whenever we are talking about discrete, we calculate it by this way. حتى بال continuous, sometimes we calculate it using this way. إما it is the expected value of x square minus the mu square. Okay, and what does the expected value of x square mean هنا? It means the sum of x square f of x. أو إذا it is continuous, the expected value of x square is the integration from minus infinity to infinity of x square في ال f of x dx. And the mu, we know what's the mu, it's the mean itself. طبعا, let's check this example. Now I have this continuous random variable table. عندي ال outcome وعندي ال probability اللي قدامها. فاتفقنا ان ال outcome اللي هي ال x اللي هي random variable وال probability اللي قدامها اللي هي ال f of x. Yeah? فهذه ال x وهذه ال f of x. ال x1 it's 49. ال x2 it's 49. ال x3 it's 19. نلاحظ ان ال 4 and the 4 and the 1 is 99. The sum is equal to 1. فهذه probability distribution table. So the thing is that they want you to find the expected value. They want you to find the variance. فلازم تكون القوانين عندي. What's the expected value? It's what we call the mu. The expected value of x. It's equal to مجموع كل ال x مضروبة بال f of x. لأنها discrete. Okay? And what's the variance? Sigma square, the sigma square is equal to مجموع ال x نطرح منها الميو ونسوي لها square, بعدين we multiply it with f of x. لازم أكون حافظة القوانين. So the mu is x في ال f of x فعلى طول 1 في ال 49 ها check it here 1 في ال 49 2 بال 49 3 بال 19 and we add the answer is 1.7 هذا المين. الحين ال variance is 1 minus mu الميو طلعت 1.7 okay ف it's gonna be sigma square راح تكون sum x minus mu والميو أنا already حسبتها it's 1.7 square f of x مرة ال x ب1 so it will be 1 minus 1.7 square بال 49 مرة ال x بتكون بال2 so it is 2 minus 1.7 square باللي قدامها اللي هي 49 بعدين ال x بتكون مرة 3 it will be 3 minus 17 square في ال 19 do the square multiply add this will be the variance huh you got that it's a rule ال x بنطرح منها 1.7 اللي هو المين we will square it and we multiply it with f of x طبعا شيء جدا مهم هنا ان احنا نعرف الرولز شيء جدا مهم ان احنا نعرف السامبلز هذه ايش معناها ايش يعني small f of x اللي هي البروبابيلتي ايش الاكس الاكس اللي هي الاوتكمز مره تكون 1 مره 2 ومره 3 الاكس قاعده تتحرك على 3 ارقام it's 1 مره 2 ومره 3 yeah الحين once you write it صح موضوع انها تنحط بالحاسبه مش مشكله هذا شيء بالتريننج تتعودون عليه الاي اللي هي الاكسبكتد فاليو بدل ما احيانا ما نكتب ميو ويسي الاكسبكتد فاليو فالاي اكس معناها sum x f of x والاي اكس سكوير معناها sum x سكوير f of x والاي of x minus mu square معناها the sum of x minus mu square في ال f of x نرجع نلخص القوانين نرجع نسوي summarizing للقوانين طبعا what we do with the discrete is happening again with the continuous لكن with the integration sign when we say we want the mu اللي هي ال expected value of x هذه راح تكون sum x على طول multiply with f of x لما أقول I want sigma square this equal to the expected value بس of what of x minus mu square بمعنى it's the sum of x minus mu square في ال f of x another way to find the sigma square is finding the expected value of x square mu square ايش ال expected value of x square means معناها the sum of x square في ال f of x minus the mu square after that after you find this you will subtract mu square طبعا the same thing to be used with the integration now here we have an example where we have a continuous random variable the probability function is given as you can see here it is 2 bil x minus 1 for the x between 1 and 2 and they want you to find the mean they want you to find the variance so what is the mean in this case what's the mean rule the mu اللي هو expected value of x which is the integration from 1 to 2 لأن the function is defined from 1 to 2x multiply with f of x and what is f of x in this case it is 2 bil x minus 1 so this is integration from 1 to 2 x multiply with the function which is 2x minus 1 if you multiply out the things this is 1 2 this will be 2x squared minus 2x. Now you find the integration. The integration of this one is x3 and 2 over 3, and this will be x squared, and the integration is from 1 to 2. Substitute with 2, substitute with 1, subtract everything, you will get the answer is 5 over 3. You want me to do it بseparate slide بتفصيل؟ Let me show you this. Here is our function. They want me to find the mean. They want you to find the what variance they want? Yeah, the variance. المين اللي هو ميو اللي هو expected of x الرول لأنها continuous. It's the integration. حضوري الاختبار. It's the integration from minus infinity to infinity للx multiply with f of x. والvariance is sigma square equal to the expected value of x square minus the mu square. أنا راح أستخدم المرة هذه. Okay, so we start finding the mean. In this case, my mean, my expected value, my ex, is nothing but the integration, مش from minus infinity to infinity, it's integration from when to when. The integration here is from where to where? صح? Yeah, it's limited from 1 to 2. And بما إني قاعد أتكلم عن المين، قاعد أتكلم عن expected value, I multiply x بالفانكشن اللي موجود اللي هي 2x minus 1. طبعا we rearrange الفانكشن عشان أقدر أسوي لها integration. I multiply the 2 and the x هنا، هذه راح تكون 2x square minus هذه بتكون 2x and the integration with respect to x. We find the integration هنا. This one is 2x3 على 3. This one is a 2x square على 2, and the 2 cancel the 2 طبعا, and the integration is from 1 to 2. مرة بنعوض بال 2, it will be 2, 8, it is 16, 3. Minus the substitution with 1, it will be 1, which is the 3, 3, so the answer is 13, 3. صح كده؟ Let me check it. No. How does it come? It's just 1 second, just 1 second. I did a huge mistake. We substitute with the 2. هذه بتكون 16, 3 minus the substitution with the 2, which is 4, minus the substitution with 1, which is a 2, 3, and minus 1. Yeah, this is the substitution with the 2. And this is the substitution with the 1. The final answer would be 5 over 3. Okay, so we got the mu is equal to 5 over 3. You want this? This is what you want here? This one? So let's continue our work here. So we got the result of the integration is 5/3, which is our mu. Now the second step, will be finding the variance. Already I have the mu, I'm keeping it aside, and mu is 5/3. Now to find the variance sigma square is equal to the expected value of x square minus the mu square. mu square اللي هي ال 5/3 square اللي هي 25 على 9. So now I still need to find the expected value of x square. ايش يعني expected value of x square؟ يعني الانتجريشن of x square في ال f of x. And the integration in this case أكيد from 1 to 2 again لأن the function is defined best from 1 to 2. So this equal to the integration in 1 to 2 x square multiply with the f of x, and the f of x is 2 في x minus 1 dx. Rearrange the function. Now if you multiply x square 2 بالx, this will be 2x3 and minus 2x square, the integration from 1 to 2. So dx طبعا. So the integration of this one x3 على 3 x4 على 4 it will be, this is 2 x4 over 4, and this will be 2 x3 over 3, and the integration is from 1 to 2. Substitute with 2 minus the substitution with 1 and get the result. It's already calculated here. This equal to 17/6. So you get that this one is 17/6. فهذا ال EX square. ال EX square is 17/6 والميو square اللي هي ال 5/3 square. So this will be 17/6 minus 25 على 9, and you find the final result. This equal to 1/18. You get that this is equal to 1/18. Okay, you got that. فهذه الرول للexpected value that we usually use it whenever we have continuous random variable. Now the last example, they are giving me the number of phone calls coming into a telephone switchboard during each minute. It was recorded during an entire hour. During 30 of a 1 minute interval, there was no calls. no calls معناها zero number of calls. هذا كان في 30 part of 1 minute. 30 of 1 minute معناها 30/60. Now during 20 intervals there was how many call? 1 call. فال1 call لما ال x is equal to 1 كانت على interval 20/60, and this is 1/3. Now 10 intervals of the 60 كان عندي how many calls? 2 calls. So لما ال x2 it is 10/60 اللي هو 1/6. Okay, again I'm talking about 1 minute interval. 1 minute interval فيها 60 seconds صح ولا لا؟ ال 1 minute فيها 60 جزء. فخلال 13 من ال 60 we had 0 calls. وخلال 20 we had 1. And خلال 10 we had 2 calls. This is how we write the table. الزيرو قدامها 30/60, ال1 قدامها 20/60, and the 2 قدامها 10/60. So write the probability table. This is the probability table, and you notice that the sum is equal to 1. If we add 30 with 20 with 10, this is 60/60, and this equal to 1. So this is my x, وهذه probability اللي هي ال f of x صح؟ My number of calls is my x and the f of x is the probability according to it. So this answer part A of the question, they want the table that describe this probability thing, and this is the table. Are you getting that? Are you getting that? Okay. So compute EX. What is EX? إيش يعني EX؟ إيش يعني EX؟ يعني المين، expected value. That's correct. المتوسط يعني. So I know إن المين أو the expected value or what we call the mu لما كان عندي discrete هنا هذا discrete. It's actually the sum of the x f of x. هذه x وهذه f of x. So we multiply 0 with a half, 1 with a third, 2 with a 1/6. We multiply, we add, and the result is 0.67. فمتوسط عدد المكالمات in the 1 minute is equal to 0.67. So interpret this. Interpret يعني فسروا لي معنى ال EX. The interpretation of this معناها إن the expected number of phone calls in 1 minute period is 0.6. هذا معنى المين. المين معناها المتوسط ال average. ممكن نقول إن the average of the number of phone calls in 1 minute is actually equal to 0.67. فهذا معنى ال expected value. هذا معنى interpret يعني فسروا لي إياها. إيش يعني فسروا لي إياها؟ يعني just you have to mention إن this is the average value. So the average number of what? Of phone calls in 1 minute is equal to 0.6 and 7. Is that clear?
دكتور الله يعطيك العافية.
Yeah.
هي نفس المثالين السابقة، بس اللهم اللي هنا حطينا نحن التيبل بنفسنا، صحيح ولا لا؟ استخرجنا من السؤال.
صحيح. هنا طلب من عندي التيبل، أعطاني إياها كلام وطلب من عندي to write the table. So I interpret it. يعني أنا فسرتها إيش يعني هذه وإيش يعني هذه.
ولا هي البقية كلها نفسها، ما في أي شيء مختلف أصلا.
Yeah.
أي طيب، الله يعطيك العافية.
دكتور السلام عليكم.
وعليكم السلام.
دكتورة معليش سؤالي ما له علاقة بالمحاضرة أو المقرر. الأسبوع الماضي
بعد ما نخلص معلش لأن already إحنا ما خلصنا وقاعدة أسوي ريكورد.
معلش أنا.
Okay, after I'm done I'm gonna leave a time for question answers. ماشي؟
تمام.
Okay, thank you. So I'm still showing you some more examples about this. هذا questions that came before in some finals. Multiple choice دائما most probably راح يكون في one of the multiple choice وراح يكون في one question في الإيساي. فهذه questions إيساي جاية كلها، هذه الquestion جاية في الإيساي that you can see them here. I'm gonna send you this file, don't worry. So let's go through the multiple choice question to wrap up the information that we did today. Now here they are giving you a function f of x. ويقول لك if this is a density function، لو هذه density function ايش ال value of the k؟ and notice ال k جاية وين؟ جاية هنا. So again I have to use the rule of the probability density function and apply it هنا. فالرول تقول لي إن it is a probability density لو الانتجريشن from minus infinity to infinity of the function f of x is equal to 1. if I'm applying this على الفانكشن هذه this means the integration من ال k إلى 2k والfunction is 1 dx لازم equal to 1. What's the integration of 1 now? إيش integration ال 1? What's the integration of 1 here? Huh? Excellent. It's equal to x and the integration is from k to 2k and I want this to equal to 1. الحين مرة أعوض بال 2k محل ال x minus مرة بعوض بال k مكان ال x and this equal to 1. So what's the value of k? 1. And this is the correct answer. I follow up the steps of the integration. جبت الانتجريشن عوضت بأطراف الانتجريشن we subtract and this equal to 1. مرة عوضت بال 2k 2k مكان ال x معناها 2k k مكان ال x معناها k so 2k minus k is k this equal to 1 and this answers the question. So what's the value that make this density function is equal to 1. Now هذه نفسها الفانكشن اللي حليناها اليوم صح؟ I have the integration of a في ال x minus 1 and the integration من ال 1 إلى 2 and this should equal to 1 and I have to find the value of ال a then. ال a constant, it can just go outside and I find the integration of x is x squared. You must be good in the integration, huh? لازم تكونون very expert, very quick with this integration thing. Minus, what's the integration of minus 1? The integration of minus 1 is x and the integration is from 1 to 2 and this equal to 1. A is a constant, substitute with the 2, this will be 4 over 2 minus 2 minus the substitution with 1 which is half minus 1 and this equal to 1. Solve it, get the value of the a, you will get that a is equal to 2. Yeah? طبعا 4 over 2 is 2 minus 2 this will go to 0. Half minus 1 is minus half, it will be 2 فهذه راح تكون sorry it's minus half with a minus this will be half هذه بتكون half وهذه بتروح ب0 this will be a في الhalf so a is equal to 2. Go ahead أسامة, what's your note?
دكتورة دحين بس إنه ده بيطالع في السؤالين الأول الكي smaller than ما في smaller than أو equals
ما يحتاج احنا we are talking about integration. الانتجريشن ما تفرق فيها الأطراف موجودة أو ما هي موجودة. أنا if you remember إن I mentioned this إحنا لما قلنا عندنا probability ال x between A and B قلت لكم ما يفرق إذا فيها equal أو ما فيها لأن I'm talking هذا طبعا في ال continuous في ال discrete تفرق لكن في ال continuous لما أتكلم عن integration it's all the time integration from A to B لو عندي equal ولو ما عندي equal.
أيوة. بس لو كانت x زي ما تقولي equals يعني ما في a و b بس a اما b هنا تفرق معايا.
ما فهمت عليك لما ايش؟
يعني مثلا هنا مكتوب a is smaller than or x وال x is smaller than or equals b. لو مثلا قال لي x smaller than b x بس كذا x smaller than b هنا ما حط لي يساوي هنا يفرق معايا صح؟
برضه ستيل ما تفرق. برضو لو كان عندي x less than b أو عندي probability of x less than or equal to b في الكونتينيوس أنا أتكلم ها في الكونتينيوس في الكونتينيوس ما تفرق. It is all هنا integration من minus إلى b وهنا it's integration from minus infinity to b. Both cases it's not making any difference.
Only continuous.
Yeah, only for the continuous and usually إن الأشياء هذه قاعدة تجينا بالcontinuous as you can see. إحنا we care about continuous لأنه we care about the integration اللي هو application of our work. Okay. Here we have this question ها. يقول لي you have this function f of x defined by x minus half and the x is between 1 and 2. This is a probability density function. يقول لك it's continuous طبعا. Find me the probability of x greater than or equal to 1. Probability x greater than 1 معناها من ال 1 إلى infinity صح؟ من ال 1 وطالع. Greater than or equal to 1 of f of x dx. طب الفانكشن عندي قاعدة توقف عند وين؟ عند 2. So this will be the integration actually من ال 1 إلى 2 بس of the function which is x minus half dx. And you find the integration طبعا. The integration of x is x squared over 2. The integration of half is half في ال x and the integration is from 1 to 2. One time you substitute with the 2. This will be 4 over 2. Minus 1 had the substitution with the 2 minus the substitution with the 1 this will be half and this will be half and this will go with a 0 have it 2 minus 1 and the answer will be 1 so the answer is 1. You got it? Greater than or equal to 1 معناها من ال 1 وطالع. طيب أنا الفانكشن موقفة عند 2 so it's from 1 to 2. I stop at the 2. Good. طيب هنا this is the function again فيها a and they want to check what is the value of a that make this density function. فagain الintegration in this case من وين لوين؟ من 1 to 2 of the function اللي هي 2x minus a لازم الintegration equal to 1. We integrate 2x, it will be 2x square على 2 يعني it will be x square and the integration of a is ax. لا very easy integration actually. And this is from 1 to 2 and ما ننسى إن this should equal to 1. Substitute with the 2, this will be 4 minus 2a minus the substitution with 1 which is 1 minus a, this equal to 1. نحلها نبسط الأمور. هذه 4 minus 2a minus 1 plus a equal to 1. هذه بتكون 3 وهذه بتكون minus a equal to 1. This implies إن ال a is equal to 2 and the answer is 2. ها صارت الأمور توضح زيادة ولا لا؟ Any question here? خلونا نشوف ال essay questions. Are you with me? Now the essay questions زي كده full question يجي بالفاينل. They are giving you the function. They are asking you أول شيء to show it's a density function. They are asking you to find the probability. They are asking you to find the mean وأحيانا حتى ال variance. الحين to show it's a density function عشان أوريها إنها density function I have to find the overall من minus infinity to infinity لل f of x وأخليها تساوي 1. I check it's equal to 1 ولا لا. In this case the function is defined من وين لوين؟ من الزيرو ل 1. and ننتبه ال function is a root of x. دائما أنا إذا root x أحب أكتبها as x to the power half. So it is 3 2 and the function is x to the power half. Yeah. So الانتجريشن راح تكون من الزيرو إلى ال 1 والفانكشن اللي هي 3 over 2 x to the power half dx. نجيب الانتجريشن and we prove this equal to 1. طبعا الحين لازم تعرفون تتعاملون مع الفراكشنز. Okay. So the integration of x to the power half الحين 3 2 is constant. نضيف لها 1 يعني نضيف لها 2 of 2 and we divide by 1 2. هذه 20 من نص يعني نص الدرجة تنأخذ يعني 10 من 50 ومو شرط يعني ما we don't know. And this is from 0 to 1. فهذه راح تكون 3 over 2 ومع ال 3 over 2 they will cancel. راح يبقى عندي x to the power 3 over 2 من ال 0 لل 1 and this equal to 1 and this is what I wanted to prove. الحين لما يبغى ال probability from point 3 لل point 6 إيش معناها؟ معناها the integration من ال point 3 إلى ال point 6 للfunction which is 3 over 2 x to the power half. We find the integration. We substitute with point 6 with the point 3 and we get the final answer. الحين البارت C of the question they want the mean of the random variable. أنا أعرف إن المين اللي هو ميو اللي هو ال expected value of x is nothing but the integration أضرب x في الفانكشن اللي موجودة عندي. So x multiply with the function and my function is 3 over 2 x to the power half. الحين لازم نعرف نتعامل مع ال fractions. Here the integration is from 0 to 1 طبعا. So the x هذه to the power 1 ال 1 is nothing but 2 2. So when we find this x2 2 مع x1 2 this will be 3 over 2 and this will be x to the power 3 over 2 and the integration is from 0 to 1. Okay, ضربتها ب x and the x is x to the power 1. x to the power 1 معناها x to 2. We add, this will be x to the power 3 2. لما يكون عندنا multiplication we add the power. You find the integration and you get the result. The result is equal to 0.6. For your practice, huh? This is a good practice. حتى انتوا عندكم quiz بكرة اللي حابب يدخل quiz. This will be a good practice for you. Here's another function. شايفين function? The function is 1 over 36, 9x squared, and the function is from -3 to 3. Again, show me this is a density function. يعني الانتجريشن من -3 to 3. Find me the probability من -2 to 2. جيبوا لي المين. The same steps لكن different function. And this is another question. هذه الفانكشن والفانكشن is an easy one. It's just 1/3. 1/3 اللي هو constant, and the function is from 0 to 3. يبغى البروبابيلتي من 1 to 2 اللي هي الانتجريشن from 1 to 2. يبغى المين اللي هي x في الفانكشن gx. بعدين يبغى الفاريانس, and this is the rule of the variance. It's the expected value of x squared minus the mu squared. The mu already we found it in B. We find the expected value of x squared, we subtract mu squared, and we get the result. Here's the last question. They are giving you again a function. Defined من 0 لل 1. Show me that this is a probability density function. إذا يبغاني أبين لأن probability density function, this means إن integration of f of x لازم equal to 1 over its domain, and the domain هنا من 0 to 1. So if you find the integration, you will get the integration is equal to 1. They want the mean, and the mean I know it's the integration of x multiplied with f of x over the domain, with domain هنا from 0 to 1. Okay, so this is what you expect هنا. يعطيكم سؤال في function. They ask you to prove it is a density function. They ask you for probability from 1 point to 1 point. They ask you for the mean. They could ask you for the variance. صار واضحة الأمور؟ I'm gonna send you this file إن شاء الله. Any question? I need to take the attendance. Just 1 second. Okay. I'm gonna stop the record.